Super excited for today. Looking forward to this. It's gonna be a good day. Oh, this is a little weird. Super excited for today. Looking forward to this. It's gonna be a good day. Oh, this is a little weird. Super excited for today. Looking forward to this. It's gonna be a good day. This is a little weird. Where is it? Let's check this out. Hey, Melissa. Yeah, it's Billy. Where's everybody? I'm here. Oh, I got this right. We're going virtual today. I gotta get home and start this thing. Hello, and welcome to Virtual VegFest Los Angeles 2020. Today's lineup we have Yoga with Melissa Breslow, the founder of the Mind Body Space. Cooking with Mario Fabri from Trying Vegan with Mario and Marley Figueroa from the Produce Section Challenge. A special interview with Gene Bauer from Farm Sanctuary and Captain Paul Watson from Sea Shepherd. Discussion, Walking in a New Vegan World with Mike the Vegan and Joshua Awesome. Special visits from Earthling Ed and Alexandra Paul. An all-star panel from the Amazon Prime hit TV show New Day, New Chef, hosted by Jane Velez Mitchell. And featuring Dotsie Bausch, Elizabeth Alfano, Simone Reyes, Chef Babette, Jane Elizabeth, Gianna Simone, Otep Shamaya, Carissa Krantz, and Melissa and Kyle Breslow. Interviews with Dr. Milton Mills and Torrey Washington, with special musical guests Julia Othmer, Joel Martin, and the Darden Sisters. We'll also have animal adoptions, giveaways including 2 air fryers, and a quick review of beverages from our Oasis Beer, Wine, Cider, and Hard Kombucha Garden. VegFest LA is proudly sponsored by the Open Eyes Foundation. Open Eyes, Open Hearts. Please post your comments for us during the live stream. And now here's your host for today, Billy Holting, the director of VegFest Los Angeles.
Hello, good. Thank you, Billy. Perfect. Hello and welcome to Virtual VegFest Los Angeles. This is so exciting. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to get our heart rates up, our sweat on. We're going to get our immune system strong. We're going to get hydrated, so important, and we're going to really work our lungs. If you're pregnant or have any heart issues, just do normal breathing. Skip the intense breath. And this is Nam Yoga. So if you haven't done it before, it's a little different. It's movement, breath, lots of mantra. Singing opens up the throat chakra, opens the heart. It's so good for you. Even if you think you can't sing, go for it. Let your neighbors hear you. Nam actually has a, they have a Love Heals, May 31st, a global gathering, which is going to be amazing. And I'm excited to share that I'll be playing a lot of music by Moby, which goes to all animal nonprofits. It's called Moby, Moby Gratis. And so he makes it, I love Moby. He's so amazing. So Moby's music is on VegFest today. We're so excited about that. So let's get started. Take a deep inhale, reaching up, reach, look up, smile, feel all the love and all the blessings. Inhale more, and exhale, bust out laughing, shake it out. Let everything release, shake it off, whatever you don't want. And a deep inhale again, bring your arms up, inhale more, look up, reach. Press your palms together, slowly exhaling through the nose. Bring your hands to heart center and take a moment to arrive. to welcome yourself into the space, to feel present in this moment. And we're going to start by singing Aums. It's A-U-M, just to get warmed up. So you can go ahead and sing with me. Take a deep inhale and exhale. Deep inhale. Aum, 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 Aum. Take a deep inhale. Suspend the breath. Feel that life force connection flowing through you, and slow, long exhale through the nose. Let's rub hands together, building up heat, energy, vibration. Rub them fast, fast, fast. And on an inhale, interlace your fingers over your head. This is for protection. We're gonna, if we can hop over to this camera, this is the triple mantra. Hopefully you can see it. And this is for protection from inside and out, for positive thinking and for your world to be positive. I always do this before I get in the ocean, or if I'm driving and feeling a little nervous on LA traffic. So let's sing it together. We're gonna sing it 3 times, and we're gonna take 4 sharp inhales through the nose in between each section. And I promise after this, we're gonna get up and get moving, so. But it's good to start your day with a little protection. Why not? Take a deep inhale and exhale all the breath out. Again, a deep inhale. Adgare Name, Jugadgare Name, Satgare Name, Sri Guru Deve Name. Ad Sach Jugad Sach Hebi Sach Nanako Osibi Sach. Ad Sach Jugad Sach Hebi Sach Nanako Osibe Sach. Adgare Name, Jugadgare Name, Satgare Name, Sri Guru Deve Name. Ad Sach Jugad Sach Hebi Sach Nanako Osibi Sach. Ad Sach Jugad Sach Hebi Sach Nanako Osibe Sach. Deep inhale. All the breath in, and exhale, release the hands down. Let's start the music. This is a Moby song. You gotta check out this website, it's amazing. Let's see here, we are looking for, here we go. So we're gonna sing Rama. So it's nice to sing it out loud, and we're gonna do a healing hand movement. The reason we do, one of the reasons we do mudras is because your hands are connected to your heart. And so we're gonna start with Shakti Mudra. Shakti Mudra is for life force, vitality. You have your hands, palms open. You take the tip of your thumb to the bottom of your pinky finger, that pad underneath, and you close your fingers over it. Again, palms flat, tip of thumb to the bottom of the pinky, and then close your hands. So we're gonna go up 60 degrees, and we're gonna say Rama, Rama, and then hands open, Rama, Rama, clap. And so you can follow me, and we'll sing it together. And this is for happiness, to open your heart, to spread your aura beautifully. So let's begin Shakti Mudra, and we'll begin. Rama, 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 Rama. Deep inhale, hands up, reach, 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 smile, look up, inhale more, inhale more, inhale more. And exhale, bust out laughing, shake it out. And on your feet. It's nice to have a yoga mat to give you a little cushion. Put out my yoga mat. Okay, so we're gonna get our heart rates up. So let's get the right music. Okay, here we go. And this is actually a song by me. Pretty exciting. Let's stop the movie. Okay, perfect. And so this is called Magnet. So bring your feet nice and wide because we're bringing in all the blessings, all the love. So have your toes out just slightly. Step back a little. And we're gonna really engage our core. And we're gonna have our arms straight. And we're gonna exhale when we come to the top. We're gonna start out slow and we're gonna increase the speed. So what we're doing here is we're bringing our visions, our dreams, our goals from the earth, and we're bringing it up through the heart, giving it light. And we're bringing our hands out in front of our third eye for vision, for clarity of vision, to make our dreams come true, to fruition. So think about all your dreams, your goals, what you want to see make happen in the world. And I'm going to turn up the music, and we're going to increase the speed. Get it loud. And let's do this. Exhale, 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 exhale. And put a smile on your face. Smiling shifts everything. Shifts your brain chemistry, makes you happy. Try it. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep going. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Squeeze that booty. Exhale, exhale. We have about a minute left, so give it all you got. Exhale, exhale. The dance party is just beginning. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep going. Exhale, exhale. Almost there. You're looking good. called a brain booster. If you ever are feeling tired, like after lunch, you're at work, fatigued, this one gets the oxygen to your brain. So I'm going to teach it to you. It looks like this. So it's cross, out, up with the arms. If you have lower back issues, just do the arms. If you don't, we're going to give a great big ha and bend forward. And just let everything release. Let your neighbors hear you. Shout it out. Ha. And the breath is through the nose. Inhale, 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 and then ha. Okay, so let's begin. So it's cross, out, up, ha. Inhale, 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 ha. Cross, out, up, ha. Inhale, 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 ha. Cross, out, up, ha. 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 Few more, keep going. Ha. 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 Last one. Ha. And take a deep inhale, reach up. Awesome job. Shake it out. For Shavasana later, we're going to have a little sound bath. So that's going to be a nice treat. Just shake it. Shake your legs, shake your arms. Ha. Let it go. Okay, we're going to do some intense breath work now. We need Moby for this. Ah. Let's see, I really like this one. This is a great time to get a drink of water. Hydrate, drink, get water. If you don't have some next to you, always have it. Take the moment to go get it. So important. Your body can't heal unless you're eating right, nourishing with vegan foods, vegetables, fruits, whole plant-based foods, and lots of water. Okay, so what we're going to do is breath. If you're dizzy at all, please listen to yourself. Always really get in tune. If you're dizzy, if you're not feeling right, you can come down like this, and you can come sitting down and bring your forehead to the earth. So feet together, roll your shoulders up and back. In all of this breath, you keep your eyes open so you're present, and you keep your shoulders down. It's in the chest. So we're going to take a deep inhale through the nose. Nice, slow, long, filling up the lungs. Now inhale more. I know you got the room in your lungs. Keep going. They're like sponges for oxygen. Inhale more. Inhale more health. Inhale more life. Inhale more vitality. Inhale more joy. Inhale more love. Inhale more laughter. Inhale a little bit more. Now hold the breath. Let it circulate through you, keeping the eyes open. And through the nose, slow, long exhale, letting all the stagnant air out. We're going to do that again. Deep inhale through the nose. All the breath in. Now inhale more. Inhale more. Sip in a little more air through your nose, all through your nose. Inhale more. Standing nice and tall. Inhale more health. Inhale more vitality. Inhale more strength. Inhale more abundance. Inhale more joy. Inhale more love. Inhale more happiness. Inhale a little bit more, a little bit more. Hold the breath in, keeping the eyes open. And through the nose, when you're ready, slow, long exhale. Beautiful. Let's do that one more time. Deep, slow, long inhale through the nose. All the breath in. Now inhale more. Inhale more. Inhale more. Inhale more love. Inhale more health. Inhale more joy. Inhale more laughter. Inhale more abundance. Inhale more health. Inhale more strength. Inhale more. Inhale a little more. Inhale a little more. Now hold the breath, keeping the eyes open. And slow, long exhale out the nose. Great job. If you need to, separate the feet, get a drink of water. We're going to go into some more breath. Whew. It's a beautiful day in LA. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, so this is going to be all through the nose again, keeping the eyes open. And you're gonna wanna take as much air as you can in through the nose. So it's gonna be inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And you're gonna, I like to think of it as massaging my heart with oxygen. And I think about focusing all of it here. The shoulders stay down, feet together. Again, if you're dizzy at all, please stop, separate the feet, and come down. It's really important to listen to yourself. And we'll begin. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale all the breath in, hold the breath at the top, and slowly through the nose, exhale it all out. Beautiful job. We're gonna do that again, this time coming into cactus arms. So open your arms nice and wide, fingers spread wide, feet still together. This is to expand, open our heart, spread our aura. Let it shine. And we'll begin. Inhale, exhale, 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 expand, release, inhale, exhale, expand, contract, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Take a deep inhale, all the breath in, suspend the breath at the top. And slowly exhale, bringing your hands down. We're gonna do this one more time. This time bring your Jupiter finger, your pointer, for expansion to our third eye. Go, Moby. And we'll begin again. Inhale, exhale, 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 inhale, exhale. Take a deep inhale, all the breath in. Hold the breath at the top. And slowly exhale, bringing your hand down. Beautiful. Separate the feet. Get a drink of water. I'm going to make everybody hydrated for today. And we're not even going to be outside in the sun. I miss beautiful Billy Park. I'm so glad Billy got to get out there. Okay. What we have for you next. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and interlace our hands behind our backs. Roll your shoulders up and down. We're going to do neck rolls, separating the feet. Bring your chin to your chest and 3 big neck rolls to the left. Nice and slow. Feeling every crevice. Keep going. Directions. Tell your muscles, anywhere that's tight, say let go. Release. You don't need to be tense. Let your body melt. close it. This is called T sequence. So you stand with your feet together. The tip is to really engage your core. Tighten your root lock and just tighten everything so that makes you stronger. So you're using your core here. So Shakti Mudra, bring your hands out and feel strong. Arms nice and straight, chest open. And we're gonna bring our pointer, so each finger correlates to a different planet, which is also connected to the mudras we do. So our pointer finger is Jupiter for expansion. So let's inhale, bringing our pointer finger up. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it pointing down. Inhale. Exhale. Smile on your face, why not? Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring your middle finger, your Saturn, up to join. Both fingers up like a peace symbol. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. All through the nose. Deep inhale. And exhale. Both fingers down. Inhale. Exhale. Saturn is for discipline. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring your ring finger up to join. Inhale. This is your sun. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The sun is for power, strength, vitality. Inhale. Exhale. All three fingers down. That's why we wear a ring on a ring finger to enhance all of that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. So you can put a ring on any of these fingers to enhance that those qualities. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now pinky finger up too. All four fingers up. Inhale. Exhale. Your ring finger is Mercury for communication. So if you're shy, put a ring on your pinky. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All four fingers down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And your thumb, all five fingers up. Thumb is for Mars, fire, passion. Exhale. Inhale for burning, for sweating. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're almost there. All five fingers down. You got this. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now all five fingers up and push the walls away. Push, push, push. Breathing. Push, push. You got this. We're almost there. Pushing. Arms so straight. Chest so open. Heart is expanding through the universe. And take a deep inhale. Exhale. Bring your arms down. Come into Shakti Mudra. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. Ra, ma, da, sa, se, so, hum. Ra, ma, da, sa, se, so, hum. Yay, awesome job. Okay, now our dance party begins. Let's see. We got one more thing before our dance party. Let's take a deep inhale. Bring our arms up. And stretch, stretch, stretch. Separate the feet. Take your left hand and grab your right wrist. And exhale, we're gonna come to a side bend. Feel that stretch all down your side, keeping your right hip down, feeling it all the way to your pinky toe. This is detoxing your organs. Happy kidneys. Stretch and really pull that arm. And on an inhale, stand up straight. Pulling the arm up one last time. Exhale, bring it down. Other side. Deep inhale, both arms up. Grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. And exhale, come to a side bend. And really pull that arm and feel that stretch. Feel your ribs opening. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Feel it all the way down your side. Beautiful. Inhale up. And bring both arms down. And do a slight back bend now. So bring your hands into Shakti Mudra again. And it's important to keep your pelvis a little forward to protect your lower back. Be really gentle. This is a really slight movement. Shakti Mudra, hands up, deep inhale, and exhale, just come slightly back. Keeping that pelvis forward, the shoulders roll down, keeping your neck down, your chin down. And exhale, come down. Awesome. Our dance party begins, but we need the right music. Let's get this. Okay. This is a Synth City original from my record label. Okay, I'm going to turn the music up in a minute. But what we do is we're going to tap below the knee and to the side, not on the knee. And it's knee nice and high. And we're going to twist on each side with the waist. So we're going to be looking to each side. Let's turn it way up. Beautiful. Oh, clap, clap, yes. Okay, here's where it gets good. You can put a little pep to your step and get a bounce. If you want to freestyle your own dance party, go ahead. And get your knees really high up. And bounce. This is your time to get your heart rate up for the day. Every day we should get our little sweat on. Keep going. I'm going to turn the music up. Keep going. This is like being in a nightclub in a pandemic. When you're home all alone. Knees high, smile on your face. Woo! Keep going. Woo! Have fun with it. Laugh a little. We're almost there. Just a little longer. You got this. Woo! Keep going. I'm gonna change the song. Woo! Ah. Okay, let's walk it out. Bringing our arms nice and high. And there's a breath. Once we catch our breath. So it's inhale, 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 exhale. Inhale, 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 exhale. And we're on the balls of our feet. So nice and high on the balls of our feet. Arms to about our shoulders. Inhale, 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 exhale. Walking it out. Keep going. Inhale, 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 exhale. Ah. Keep going. Inhale, 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 exhale. like airplane wings. Separate the feet. We're gonna do a forward fold bend. So slowly coming down. Make sure you're breathing and let the neck loose. Nod your head, yes. Nod your head, no. And just let everything melt. Feeling the stretch on the back of your legs, your back. Just breathe here for a moment. Whew. Okay, we're gonna come into downward dog. So let's walk our feet back, put our hands flat onto the earth. And if you look up here for a moment, this is how most people in my classes do downward dog. This is a heart opener. So you want to shift back and let your heart come to the earth. I'll show you that again. There's this, and then there's this. So let your head, your neck loose. It just melts as a resting pose. Take a few deep breaths here. Let your heart open. Breathing. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring your knees to the earth. We're gonna do some cat-cows. Inhaling, like you're trying to get the top of your head and your tailbone touch. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhale up, exhale down. One more time, inhale up, exhale down. Now I want you to move your ribs in big circles. This is called embodied movement. Just feel into it. What is your body asking from you? Feel the tip of your tailbone. Think about your spine. Do the snake with your spine. So important to have flexibility. Get your shoulders involved, your hips. Just let it all be circular motions. Like if you had a crayon, you'd be drawing big circles. Whatever your body is asking you, go there. Beautiful. Let your hips sink down to your feet. Stretch your arms out and bring your forehead to the earth. Take a couple breaths here, just melt. Feel the connection of your third eye with Mother Earth. And go ahead and find your way onto your back. Palms facing up. Take a deep inhale. Inside out your mouth. Let it all go. Get all your fidgets out. Close your eyes. And enjoy Shavasana.
And now let me get you, you're an attendee, so we're not going to make you a participant. You're right here. You just tell me my ear go. I might take this off for a while once we're talking. Yeah. No problem. That's a problem. But I'll take this out during like first 10 minutes and I'll put it back in. Because you might be talking unless you can mute yourself or whatever. Great, perfect. You can you'll just text. Thank you. Just text me when you want me to wrap it up. I guess it's about 20 minutes, right?
Your feet.
Okay.
Up your body, feel slowly everything melting, letting go.
I want to see about the screen sharing.
Let the earth
Thank you.
cradle
Oh, here we go. Now, can I ask you a quick question? Are you seeing Sea Shepherd right now? Okay.
The universe gives you what you need.
There's no audio. It's just, stop the share. And then I wanted to show.
Love, purity. Feel that
And then
goodness.
hold on, I'm going to share this just to,
Feel
because
that
we have a very
relief.
cool. Now, do you see it? No worries. Okay, so when I did the screen share, you saw it, right? You saw that screen share, like right here. You're seeing right now the Sea Shepherd website. No, I think if you're seeing, yeah, I'm gonna try it. We'll see. Okay. Okay. All right, I'll try it. See. Okay. Thanks.
Well, thank you, Melissa. Now, I thank you guys out there that have been helping us out with the audio issues. I think you can hear me now. I hope you can. There's just a little tech diff on this side. So, right now, before we get to Jane and Captain Paul and everybody, I've got Jane on the phone here, so I'm going to get that lined up as soon as Captain Paul and Jean are online. But I'm going to give away some stuff. Now, here's how we're going to do this. I've got a little side camera over here. I don't know if you could see. Oh, facing the wrong way. That was my door. And this is my setup here. This is kind of a mash between my digital audio recording studio and the live rig. But I've got YouTube over here and Facebook over here to read comments. I'm going to try to comment back because we're going to do some giveaways. And the first one we're going to do, we got a lot of these. We got T-shirts. And we got hats. So what we'll do is you guys leave a comment. And when you do, we will, we'll get in touch with you somehow. We'll comment on your comment if you have the correct answer. And that way you'll know that we're trying to get in touch with you. I don't know if we'll get it done today. I'm having trouble logging into YouTube, but on Facebook. And since we're live streaming on both, we're going to give whatever I've got here to first person on YouTube, the first person on Facebook. And we're going to go through all this. So give us some time to get these things. So the first question I have is, before we were VegFest LA, we were called something else. Now, whoever can say what the name of the festival used to be, and the first year it was in Los Angeles, that would be great. That's the first person to win on both YouTube and on Facebook. So I'm going to do a little thing here. We're going to play a little video. We got a video from the Happy Healthy Vegans. They wanted to say hello, so I'm going to just put this over here and play it for you.
Hey, I'm Angie.
And I'm Ryan.
And we're
Happy Healthy Vegan.
We just want to say hi to everybody out there watching the first ever virtual VegFest LA.
Cyber.
Yeah, we were really sad that this year's event had to be canceled, but such is life.
Yeah, it's one of the big highlights of our year, actually. For all vegans, it should be that live out here. And even those that don't, because we go every year. I think we've done it the past 4 years now. We've been presenters. We have our table. And
yeah, I help organize the social media tent, and we spend all day there meeting fans of the show and casual people walking by on their way to all the great panels and talks, and there's just so many fun conversations to be had at VegFest, isn't there?
See old friends like, say, Mike the Vegan comes most years, so it's sad not to see so many people.
But he's here today at the virtual VegFest LA.
Yeah, it's not quite the same though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad this was able to happen. It's a great idea to have some kind of community event, because that's what these events are. It's all about building vegan community, which we're all about.
Yeah.
And that's why I say we're doing lots of what we can right now too. We're doing lots of live streams on our channel, so make sure you're following and watching, not only just live streams of us, but I've been interviewing people on the live streams too, so covering all different kinds of topics.
Yeah, and I've been doing weekly vlogs, which we always live premiere our videos these days, which means that when you come on, we're watching it right alongside of you, and we can chat together. So come on over and see us at YouTube and do some chatting.
Yeah. And follow us on Instagram. Angie's on there every day making posts of what we're doing in our daily lives, the food that she's been making us. And I've been the luckiest person here in lockdown, I have to admit, because she's been like finishing up the recipes for her next book, her next cookbook.
Oh my gosh, I've been so busy with that. There's a lot of stuff you can't get done in a lockdown.
Yeah, really. So I found the right person to get locked down with, for sure.
So anyways, we want to keep you waiting for your next guest here at Virtual VegFest, but we hope you've enjoyed seeing our faces, and we look forward to seeing you in the future.
Bye.
Want to say thank you to those guys. Now, I have Jane and Captain Paul over here on a Zoom meeting, and I'm going to add them right now, but it's going to take a few seconds here, dealing with a bunch of all the good stuff. So let's see. Thank you for bearing with us. This is the first time we've done this, and this is actually really exciting. So I'm going to join their webinar here on Zoom, and then I'm going to patch it in to see all of you guys. Now, I see some answers on YouTube, and somebody got the name of the festival right, but nobody's answered what year we were the first time they had a festival under that name in Los Angeles.
There's
That's
the
what
farm.
I need both those. It's a two-point thing. Okay, hey, Jane, you there?
I am here,
Okay,
Billy.
wait, Jane, I gotta make you live here. Give me 10 seconds.
to get over to the right place. And I I wish y'all could see what I had to go through to do this. And okay, Jay, now I see you, and you want to introduce your guys and have a good talk. Please tell
Thank
them I
you,
said
Billy.
hello.
I will tell them you said hi, and I am on with two of my heroes. I am so excited to be here with Captain Paul Watson of Sea Shepherd and Gene Bauer of Farm Sanctuary, and they're both in their virtual spaces. I know that, Gene, you're not on a farm right now, and Captain Paul, you're not on a boat, but it kind of looks like that, so we'll go with it in this new virtual world. You are both my heroes. I feel that you are perfectly positioned to speak truth to power at this moment in time where much of the world is quarantined. So let me start with you, Captain Watson. So many people know about animals coming out, land animals coming out now that much of the human race is quarantined. How has COVID-19 and the quarantining of much of the human race affected the oceans and the animals who live inside the oceans?
Well, on the positive side, about 50% of the European fishing fleet is tied up. About 10% of the world's fishing fleet is tied up. On the negative side, that's only encouraged more poaching operations, but at the same time, it's cut down on the transshipment and everything. So it's up and down as far as the impact of this virus worldwide. But more importantly, I think that what this virus has done is really illustrate just how fragile our relationship with nature is. They talk about the wet markets in Wuhan. Well, all the factory farms in Europe and the United States and everywhere else, those are wet markets also. I mean, we forget that the flu came from pigs and the cold came from horses, and also chickens have also been responsible for flu. But this is the premise. This is going to get worse because as we destroy ecosystems and diminish species, the viruses associated with those species are going to jump. They need somewhere to go. And we're 8 billion, nearly 8 billion of us, so we're pretty attractive hosts. And I don't think people really understand the nature of viruses. For every plant and animal on this planet, there's a number of viruses associated with each one. There's literally billions of viruses. And everything is just wonderful and works just fine. And the viruses are very helpful and beneficial until they have a zoonotic transmission to another species. And now the new species has to adapt to that virus. And unfortunately, that kills a lot of hosts in the process. But I think that this COVID-19 thing is really a harbinger for more viruses to come as we grow ecosystems, plus the viruses that are now emerging out of melting permafrost due to climate change.
Whoa. Well, Gene Bauer, not only are you considered the father of the farm animal sanctuary movement, but you wrote an incredible article in The Hill that has been shared almost 25,000 times talking about precisely this, the relationship between humans and animals and COVID-19. Recap your point because it was brilliant.
Yeah, it's very much along the lines of what Paul was saying, that the way we interact with other animals and how we are connected with other animals is inherent. And when we treat others with cruelty and when we destroy the planet and we destroy other animals, we ultimately negatively impact ourselves. And so, the title of the article was The Karmic Connection Between Humans and Other Animals. We are connected and we share the same earth. We share the same air. We breathe in and exchange viruses and bacteria and other genetic material. And unfortunately, when we create unhealthy relationships based on violence and abuse and extraction, as unfortunately our species has a tendency to do, we then create imbalances. We create an unhealthy situation where zoonotic diseases are more likely to jump to human beings. When we don't have other wild animals around and we are destroying biodiversity, we become a much more attractive host and a much more available host. And, this is what we are seeing. And this has been happening forever. Factory farms are a breeding ground for disease. And I am hopeful that this will cause us to recognize that we need to treat others with compassion, that when we live with a more mutually beneficial relationship with other animals, it's not only good for the other animals, it's good for us. And a big part of this has to do with us not destroying rainforests to grow feed for farm animals. It has to do with us not confining animals, whether wild animals that are caught and then held by us in small spaces, or animals that were mass bred. These are all examples of an extractive, exploitive, healthy relationship, and there are consequences. And COVID-19 is just one example, but there are many, and I agree that it could likely be a harbinger of more bad things to come. The CDC estimates that 3 out of every 4 new diseases impacting humans are zoonotic, meaning they come from animals. And again, these all are reflective of our mistreatment of other animals and creating stressful, unhealthy environments where those diseases are more likely to infect us.
So all of you working to wake people up to the connection between human and animals and the COVID-19 factor, but you're also pursuing your own campaigns, or have they been put on hold? I know, Gene, that your sanctuaries in New York and California are closed right now. That's got to be painful for you, but at the same time, how can we help? How can we help? I know I have virtually adopted numerous animals from Farm Sanctuary over the years. What would you tell people so that they can support your sanctuary, which has turned so many people plant-based?
Oh, well, thank you, Jane. Well, as you say, our sanctuaries are now closed for visitors. We're doing the social distancing. We're trying to create as safe an environment there for our people and for our non-human animals as well. Hopefully at some point we'll be able to reopen. But in the meantime, we're trying to do more with online programming. We have regular virtual visits to the farm. We also have humane education programs we're doing every week, including this coming week. So people look at our website, farmster.org, for upcoming programs that are going to be online and available that way. So like many others, we're trying to make the best of this challenging time, trying to create content and useful information that's available without people having to visit. But I'm very much looking forward to the time when I can get back up to the farm and other people can as well. It's a sanctuary for animals. It's a sanctuary for people. It's a place where kindness prevails and where cruelty is healed, where animals had come in and who had suffered terribly, and they're able to come and heal from that. And in a sense, we also, human beings, heal positive place with other animals who are healing.
Well, I would urge everyone watching, please donate to Farm Animal Sanctuary. The father of the Farm Sanctuary movement is Gene Bauer, spawned so many different sanctuaries. Now there are thousands across the United States, but it started with Farm Sanctuary and did for Captain Paul Watson of Sea Shepherd. I mean, this is the world's leading marine wildlife conservation organization. Now, we know, because we're land animals pretty much, that a lot of things have stopped on the land. But in terms of your campaigns, and what I love about Sea Shepherd is that you have really great, engaging names for your campaigns, like Operation Treasured Islands. What many campaigns and many vessels. You're virtually in front of one of your many vessels. Are your campaigns on the high seas continuing, or have they been crippled by COVID-19?
Well, unfortunately, most of our ships can't move because they've been quarantined by the port authorities where they are. So Singapore won't let the Ocean Warrior out. The Canary Islands is where the Bob Barker is. The Sam Simon, actually, the Sam Simon can get out of France and will be heading to Africa to resume our anti-poaching patrols there. In Mexico, we're also confined to Mazatlan and Puerto Vallarta until we can get permission from the ports to leave. So it's not really our position. I mean, we're not really concerned when we're at sea with the crew, because the crew are all isolated there, but it's really getting the permissions from the ports to proceed. The other thing that should be mentioned on this, and one of our campaigns is called Operation Virus Hunter, and that's up in British Columbia. And that's to focus on the transmission of viruses from domestic farm salmons, Atlantic salmons, to indigenous salmon populations, 7 different species in British Columbia. And what we're seeing is this transference, which is causing disease amongst wild salmon populations, which have no immunity or beforehand. It's sort of almost like, when Europeans brought their diseases to America and affected the native population. We're now seeing the same thing with Norwegian salmon being brought into ecosystems that doesn't belong and transmitting viruses to those particular species. So, and also we have to be concerned, this COVID-19 thing, for instance, there's a real danger it could be transmitted to mountain gorillas or chimpanzees or other primates that are closely related to us. So we have to watch that very, very, very carefully too. So there's
I want to
really
jump in and ask you a follow-up question, because in the documentary I did, Countdown to Year Zero, you have a great moment where we catch you on a march, an environmental climate change march in New York City. And you talked about how a lot of people don't know that the oceans sequester carbon and the plankton sequesters carbon, and that has been diminished by overfishing. Can you elaborate on that and explain that? Because so many people don't realize that. They know that trees sequester carbon, but they don't realize that the plankton in the ocean sequesters carbon, and how the shutdown of the human population, the isolation quarantine, might affect climate change vis-a-vis the oceans.
Well, more importantly, with phytoplankton, provides 70% of the oxygen we breathe, the rest coming from trees. 70% comes from phytoplankton. Since 1950, we've seen a 40% diminishment in phytoplankton populations, and that does not bode well for the future. And the reason for that is that we've diminished populations of whales, dolphins, seabirds, and other animals, which actually provide the nutrient base for the phytoplankton. So phytoplankton needs iron and it needs nitrogen, and that comes from the feces of marine mammals and seabirds primarily. So when you reduce those populations, you reduce phytoplankton populations. And I can tell you right now, phytoplankton, if it were to disappear tomorrow, we'd all be dead. Nobody lives on this planet without phytoplankton. And the other problem that we're having is that now that we're diminishing fish populations, Norway and Japan and China are looking at going after krill or zooplankton, especially in the southern oceans. And what do they want to do with this? You can't eat it, but what they do, they can make a protein paste, and that will be used to feed factory farmed animals.
Oh.
So we're going to wipe out the zooplankton to continue to support these factory farms.
Well, let me
really, I mean, it's extremely important to shut down factory farming if we're going to constructively address climate change.
This crisis started, it is believed by most, conspiracy theories aside, most likely at a seafood market, a wet slaughter market, a slaughterhouse, just that it's a retail place in Wuhan, China. And the zoonotic diseases are the cause for most of these plagues that we've experienced. Now, there's a new focus, Gene Bauer, on factory farming, because the slaughterhouses have become hotbeds of COVID-19 infections. It's slaughterhouses, prisons, and nursing homes are the top three. And night after night, cable news outlets are now talking about slaughterhouses and how there's a moral problem with them, but not in terms of animals that are being butchered there by the thousands, because it's a workers' rights issue now, to the point where now Cory Booker and Elizabeth Warren, two senators who were, of course, presidential candidates on the Democratic side, are proposing a bill to eliminate CAFOs, concentrated animal feeding operations. Of course, they give it a very long timeline, but do you see public perceptions changing vis-a-vis factory farming and slaughterhouses because of the coronavirus outbreaks inside the slaughterhouses? Essentially, now that President Trump has said that it's critical infrastructure under the Defense Protection Act, sending workers in there to kill animals as essential workers, and some of them are dying and many of them are getting sick.
I really hope that these recent events are going to get people's attention. And, you know, in addition to requiring these slaughterhouses to open again, the other thing that the administration's directive did was it took the liability away from the slaughterhouses for people who get sick. So it really is just part of this broader system of extraction and exploitation. And you have workers who are exploited. And if they do get sick, the slaughterhouse owners will not have the liability now, because they're considered to be an essential part of our infrastructure. So that was the other part of this administration directive, which is very troubling. But the other thing that is happening now, that in addition to workers getting sick, that hopefully more and more people will start paying attention to, is that we have millions of farm animals who are just being killed and disposed of, because the factory farming system, you know, when some slaughterhouses closed, the animals who are scheduled to be killed, and this is an industrial machine, and they have a tight schedule. And with that disruption, animals started backing up in the system. And now they're just being killed and disposed of, in some cases with wood chippers. They're being put into landfills. And, you know, we're talking about millions of animals. And people are starting to see this and starting to wonder, how can this be? And at the same time that we're killing millions of animals, and there is talk about a meat shortage, and by the way, it's great that we're talking about less meat. Hopefully that can become a big part of the discussion. But at the same time, our exports of pig meat to China have been increasing. So there's a lot of things happening here that I'm hopeful will kind of cause people to pay attention, ask questions about the system itself. And ultimately, we need to try to create a more resilient system that is more flexible. And what this means is more community-oriented, smaller operations instead of the industrial factory farm, going towards plant-based agriculture, which is much more efficient. We could feed more people with less land and fewer resources through plant-based agriculture. In the US, 10 times more land is used for animal agriculture than plant-based. So shifting that way means that we could, protect habitat, protect wildlife spaces. This goes around the world too. We're cutting down rainforests because we're growing food for farm animals. So hopefully this will cause us to think, and then with that we can create systems towards plant-based agriculture instead of animal agriculture.
Jane on Shane News Network this past week, we interviewed one of the heads of LULAC, which is the largest Latin American civil rights organization. And because so many of the workers in slaughterhouses are immigrants, not just from Latin America, in one slaughterhouse alone, they speak more than 30 languages. They're from all over the world. They're from Bosnia, they're from Africa, they're all from many, many different countries. But they're actually now officially promoting a meat boycott for workers' rights, in solidarity with these workers being essentially forced into what could be their deaths. As one person pointed out, it's like slaughterhouses for people too now. And so is this an opportunity? And I'll leave this to both of you, because you just mentioned, Captain Paul, that the killing of fish is being put into farm animals. And one of the other things you said in the documentary Countdown to Year Zero, which was so fascinating, was that people don't realize a huge percentage of fish that are caught are fed to factory farm animals. So maybe we can clarify that, because that is such a stunner for so many people. And then we could talk about whether this is an opportunity for the animal rights movement and organizations, big organizations like Farm Sanctuary and Sea Shepherd, to partner with the workers' rights groups like LULAC to form a coalition to educate people about and to be part of this meat boycott, and educate people within the organizations about how they themselves can transition to plant-based, Captain Paul.
Well, it is true that over a third of all the fish that are taken from the ocean are fed to animals. In fact, we now live in a world where chickens actually eat more fish of this fish meal than all the world's puffins and albatrosses put together. We live in a world where domestic house cats actually eat more fish than all the world's seals put together. 2.7 million tons of fish is processed into cat food, and cats don't naturally actually eat fish. In fact, if a cat ever saw a tuna fish, it wouldn't be very good news for the cat. So it's a very unnatural sort of thing. And also, we're feeding to pigs, and domestic salmon are eating so much of this. So we could, if we eliminated that, we could at least cut down a third of all of the fish that are being taken. But the waste is absolutely incredible. And by 2048, there won't be a fishing industry because there won't be any fish. And trying to get that message across has been very, very difficult. But that's the opinion of the two foremost fisheries biologists in the world, Dr. Boris Worm and Dr. Daniel Pauly.
What about, Gene, partnering with LULAC? He was very interested. Joe Enriquez Henry was talking. I mean, that's their campaign, Meatless May, and then they want to extend it to Meatless Nation. I would think this would be a wonderful opportunity. I've already connected them to the SAVE movement, but to have various organizations such as Farm Sanctuary partner with them to feed the slaughterhouse workers plant-based food, and also educate them about how to switch to plant-based cooking. And so we get the leaders of the workers' rights movement going plant-based, because they're already advocating boycotting meat in solidarity for the workers who are being forced to potentially go to their deaths to make a product which we all know is not essential. None of us eat animals. There are millions of people who are living healthier lives without eating animal products. So the lie that's buried in this order is that meat is an essential item, and equating food shortages with meat shortages is the big the big lie, really. And so this is, I feel, a once in a lifetime opportunity to get the rank and file of these union organizations and the union leaders to join with the farm animal rights movement.
I love that, Jane. And, we have shared some of the information about that recent call for a boycott of meat, and we totally support it and would love to work more closely. There is a long history of awareness about these issues within the labor movement. Cesar Chavez was a vegan, for example. So I think there's an awful lot we can talk about and work together on. And I see the factory farming system ultimately as linked to many systems of oppression. Oppressing animals, oppressing workers, destroying the environment and destroying biodiversity, and creating an unhealthy relationship again with other animals. And to me, so much of this boils down to trying to live on this planet in a way that is kind and that is not extractive and exploitive of others, but is actually mutually beneficial. And I think that workers in these slaughterhouses are exploited, and that's a problem. So there's an awful lot of opportunity, I think, to speak together against exploitation and oppression, and to work towards creating a more compassionate world. And a big part of that has to do with our food system. Again, not taking, fish out of the ocean to feed to domesticated, enslaved animals, not destroying natural ecosystems, whether marine or land, to grow soy and corn, to mass produce factory farmed animals. This is totally extractive, totally inefficient. And then you have workers also in factory farms and at slaughterhouses who are at risk now for coronavirus, but they're at risk. It's a dangerous workplace otherwise too. So it's just the whole system, I think, needs to be critically evaluated. And then hopefully we can start talking about principles of compassion and mutuality and calling out extraction and exploitation and speaking against exploitation of workers, of the earth, of other people, and towards mutuality. It's a big thing, but I think we have more opportunity now than ever. And there's a whole climate issue too, which is all part of this. So these things are all related. And I think that there's much opportunity to align with many interests: workers, environmentalists, people who care about their own health, people who care about justice, people who want to live on a world that's not being destroyed. I mean, and that's probably most people, at least in principle, that it's a matter of making it real. And unfortunately, we have systems that make harm very easy, and most people sadly participate. So that's our challenge, but I think we have opportunities.
As we wrap this up, I want to say that we could also work with the companies themselves, the consolidation of the meat industry into essentially there's a four. Two of them are not American companies. JBS is owned by the Brazilians, and Smithfield is owned by the Chinese. And by the way, all these companies are invited on anytime to Jane Unchained. We want to dialogue with them. But as we wrap up, what you said struck me, Captain Paul, is that you're going to be out of fish. And of course, we know that the slaughterhouse coronavirus pandemic is crippling the meat industry. Is there going to be a point where the industries wake up? We know that JBS is invested in its own plant-based meat line, and that Tyson invested initially in Beyond Meat, then split because they want to reportedly invest and create their own plant-based line. But is there a point where we could say to these companies, you know what? It's just problems for you right now. Why don't you start producing the alternative fish and the alternative meat that has gotten so sophisticated? Final thoughts, Captain Paul.
Well, there are basic laws of ecology. I mean, the law of diversity, that the strength of an ecosystem is in diversity, the law of interdependence, that all those species are interdependent with each other. The law of finite resources, that there's a limit to carrying capacity, a limit to growth. We're stealing carrying capacity and therefore causing further diminishment in interdependence and diversity. But there's also a law that any species that fails to adapt will die. And so what we're looking at right now is that we better adapt. We better adapt to a new way of living, a new way of looking at the world, or else we're simply not going to survive. And unfortunately, our political economic system isn't very visionary. It doesn't look into the future. It forgets what the mistakes we've done in the past, and it constantly is adapting to diminishment instead of looking for better alternatives. But the one fortunate thing about it is that nature has a habit of kicking us in the ass, and I think that we're starting to see that right now, and it's going to probably get worse until we really learn.
I'll give Gene Bauer the last word.
Now, I agree. Nature is the ultimate decider, And we need to start paying attention and acting more in line with our own values and our own interests. And that means not harming nature the way we've been doing.
Thank you, gentlemen. You are my heroes. Your work is extraordinary. Please support Farm Sanctuary and Sea Shepherd. They rock. And it's back to you, Billy Holden.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Jane. That was really great to have you and Captain and Jean there. And I'm sorry I couldn't join in and say hello because I really like those guys. They've been great to us all these years.
Right. I guess
and we're going to switch
all off,
over
huh?
to Mario right now, but his camera is also
Thanks,
his
Jane.
phone. So I'm going to send him a text message. Start.
Thank you. It's sometimes the audio
10
carries
seconds.
over, so I'll just wave. Thank you. Love you.
And I'm switching over
Talk to you soon.
to
Bye.
I'm switching over to Mario right now.
Go ahead.
He's waiting for
All
the
right,
text
thank
message.
you so much, Billy, for inviting me into VegFest LA. My name is Mario. Today we are in the virtual learning kitchen, and I'm going to be teaching you guys some recipes that hopefully can inspire you guys while you're at home going through this very difficult time. You know, we could be running out of creative ideas to cook in the kitchen, and I know we all want to avoid going to the grocery store as much as possible. So that's what this cooking segment is all about, and that's what this recipe is all about. I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a delicious recipe for chickpea burgers. These are burgers, but they're going to be made out of a bean that is just packed with protein and absolutely packed with fiber. And it's going to make it really easy for you guys to enjoy cooking and make some food that's going to last a long time while you're at home in quarantine. 2 reasons why I love this recipe. So first of all, almost all of the ingredients have a very long shelf life. So you can go to the grocery store just one time and shop for enough ingredients to make 10x this recipe, and you're gonna have tons of chickpea burgers, and then you can throw those in your freezer, and those are gonna last in your freezer for a really long time, and they're really easy and really good for reheating. So those are a couple reasons why I love these chickpea burgers. Now, before I get into the actual recipe, you might be noticing something on my set that isn't normally in everybody's kitchen at home, and that is probably this air fryer right here. I absolutely love using air fryers. This is what I'm going to use to make these chickpea burgers. If you don't have an air fryer, you can totally use an oven. But a couple things that I love about an air fryer. So first of all, I don't know all the science behind it, but for whatever reason, it just cooks food so much faster. Like, I'm such a sweet potato guy. Like, I love chopping up sweet potatoes. We're not even chopping them, just throwing them in my oven and letting those cook. But in the oven, it takes like 55 minutes to an hour. In the air fryer, my sweet potatoes are done in like 35 minutes. So way faster and just a different, unique way to cook at home and to enjoy cooking. So we're gonna be featuring this air fryer as the main accessory to this recipe. And then also, actually, before we get into it, I wanna give you a quick little close up. We're gonna go camera 2 for this virtual VegFest. We're getting super high tech. I'm going selfie mode. And this is the air fryer. And I have one that's from Aria Air Fryer. And a couple things I really like about theirs is, first of all, they offer a great selection of colors. They're a sponsor of the show, so that's where we're going to get into some of the details behind them. But there's a reason they're a sponsor, because they are actually something that I absolutely use and love. So check out Aria Air Fryers. Follow them on Instagram. Aria Air Fryers is my favorite air fryer. And then another benefit of working with them, they're going to be giving away 2 air fryers. So we're going to be giving away 2 air fryers to the viewers of VegFest LA. I'm not entirely sure how we're going to select the winner. We're still figuring this whole thing out on a whim. So thank you guys for bearing with us. But I believe if you guys leave a comment, you will be entered to win. And we're going to go through all the comments later on to pick our actual winners. So if you're interested in winning an Aria air fryer, leave a comment right now. Say something nice. And all of the comments throughout today's show on YouTube and on Facebook are going to go in as entries to win the Aria air fryer. So that is enough about this recipe. Let's get cracking into it. We're going to start making our chickpea burgers. And the first thing that we're going to do with this is we're going to add some chickpeas to a bowl. Now, chickpeas typically come with this liquid on the inside. And let's see if any of you guys know at home. Can you tell me what this liquid is? Give you a good chance to enter a comment to enter into the giveaway for an air fryer. But it comes with a little liquid on the inside, and that is called aquafaba. Now, aquafaba has so many uses, and this recipe, we're going to want to leave just a little bit of that aquafaba in there to be some of the moisture instead of adding oil or adding water to this recipe. So I'm going to drain out just a little bit, but we're also going to include some of that. So I am going to drizzle in about a cup and a half of chickpeas into a bowl. And the first step we're going to do is we are going to mash our chickpeas. I have a potato masher right here. You can use a spoon or whatever you guys got at home, but we are just going to want to mash these, and this is going to be the meatiness in our chickpea burgers. I don't know how long you guys have been vegan, but I'm fairly new, you know, I'm sub 3 years, and I came from a place where I was craving a ton of meat, so I am looking for ways to recreate that meaty texture. And I'm also looking for different words other than meaty texture. So if you guys have suggestions on cooking show language for vegans, that is something I'm struggling with sometimes more than anything else, is how can I make this more relatable to other people. As soon as you start saying meaty, you're gonna get some of the wrong looks from some people who you might be trying to inspire on the other hand. So absolutely, we are gonna call this meaty for right now. So I mashed these up, and we're gonna go selfie mode. When I say selfie mode, that means we're really gonna get in there. So look, that is a pretty good mash for our chickpea burgers. We got that, that's part one. Now we're gonna add in a cup of oats down into our main mixing bowl. And then another part of this recipe, we are gonna take a zucchini and we are actually going to shred it a little bit. So take your zucchini, and I'm gonna give you a second camera angle actually of this. Look at how fancy we are. Cool, so take your zucchini and start grating it on a grater. You're gonna wanna get this down to be about a half cup of zucchini. All right, we're grating. And the zucchini, again, good balance of textures. That's one of the keys when we're doing this. All right, we got a decent amount of zucchini. I think that's enough. We're gonna take our zucchini and we're gonna add this to our main bowl. Ploppy plop into the bowl. Now, the fourth part of this recipe, so we got our chickpeas, we got our oats, we got our zucchini. Now we are going to add in an onion, a little red onion. But before I get into this, I wanna give you guys a little beginner 101 knife skills course, because this is something that I see people do wrong all the time. And it makes me scared, because I'm scared that if you're holding your knife wrong, you're gonna chop off your fingers. So I'm gonna teach you guys a better way to hold your knife and just to level it up in the kitchen and gain a little bit more confidence. So let's move you around to camera angle number 2. And here is a quick tutorial on the way that you can improve your technique in the kitchen, how to hold a knife. So it is a common tendency for people to grab a knife just like this. And the flaw with this is that you don't have as much control as you're really gonna want when you're moving quick in the kitchen. If you hit a stiff carrot, you're gonna wobble out of the way and you might dice yourself. So a way to improve how you hold your knife, get a little bit better functionality, is take your pointer finger and your thumb and just grab the base of your knife. Now you have power and control, and you're at a better point for your momentum to really drive into stuff, and you're not gonna have to worry about letting your knife slip out of your hand and be like my grandpa who lost 2 of his fingers in a carpentry accident. That's a different story, but he learned the hard way, so I don't have to. So be careful when you're around sharp objects. That is a little tip for how to hold a knife. And another little tip on onions. So we're about to slice up this onion, but before I do, I wanna show you one more thing. So I had a doctor on my cooking show by the name of Dr. Joel Furman, and he explains to me how the outermost rim of an onion has some of the most cancer-fighting properties. So a lot of times when people are going through their vegetables really quick, and you're in a restaurant, people are dicing away and they're getting rid of half of the vegetable. But in my kitchen, I try and make it a mission to preserve as much of the vegetable as possible. And when Dr. Joel Furman told me that actually some of the health benefits are the greatest in the outside of an onion, that gave me that one extra little reason why I'm a little bit more conservative in the kitchen, not wasting as much, and getting a little bit of an added health benefit. So we're gonna take this and we are just gonna take it and go through very easily, and we are going to just kind of mince this. So we get these all very small, and I didn't make enough space for myself. Virtual kitchen, this is a little bit of a new thing for me, so we are working it through. I'm sure some of you guys were on earlier when we had a little bit of an audio interference. I'm glad that happened, to be honest, because this is a live show, And I loved Jane's voice when it wasn't Jane's segment because she's a role model to me. And to hear her tap in from behind the scenes, I knew what was going on. I knew we had a little audio error. That's some of the magic of this live virtual festival. So we're gonna take our onion, get it to a similar dice all throughout, and then just go through it again. And we want to almost mince this up. You want to get your onion in pretty small sizes because we don't want chunks of onion in this burger. This is more for the onion flavor and the onion seasoning. All right, so here we have, I'm gonna take about a half cup of that. We're gonna add this into the bowl. And now we have the main mixture for our chickpea burgers, all right? This is the main mixture. We got our oats, we got our chickpeas, and we got our onion, and we got our zucchini. Now the next part is we're gonna work on some of the spices, and I'm gonna use a pestle and mortar for some spice because that brings out aroma in the kitchen. I'm gonna add in a little bit of cumin. I'm gonna add in a little bit of black pepper. Anybody who's just tuning in now, we're working on a chickpea burger recipe. We put together the main textures, and now we are adding in some of the spices. And I'm gonna toss in, so we added cumin, we added pepper, I'm gonna toss in a little bit of fennel. Italian roots, this is gonna be a little bit of the sweetness. The pepper gives it that hot, the cumin gives it that earthy, and then the fennel gives it like a little bit of an aromatic sweetness to it. So we're gonna add that into our pestle and mortar. I'm gonna throw a little salt on top. We got the grinder. Now, quick pestle and mortar tutorial. You want to cover it with your offhand so that things don't bounce all over the place and it doesn't get too messy. And then with your other hand, you're just bashing and you're spinning. Bashing, spinning. Bashing, spinning. Whew. Oh, God, that's heaven. Guys, I wish we had some smell-o-vision in here and all these virtual festivals. Maybe next time, the next evolution of the technology, we could send some of these smells through your camera because it just, this is heaven. Grandma's cooking. All right, so we got some of our spices. We are going to add this back into our main bowl with all of the other ingredients. A little organization, and let's bring you guys in for your beautiful close-up. Here's how our bowl is looking right now for our chickpea burgers. I'm thinking it looks a little dry. We're gonna add a little bit of moisture. We are gonna add in 2 tablespoons of ketchup. I like to go with as little sugar as possible. We're gonna squirt on top, a little bit of red wine vinegar, some more moisture. 2 tablespoons as well. As you can see, I'm just eyeing it, and I even had to go out of the way to write down the actual measurements because this recipe doesn't have to be so insanely specific. You get a feel for it, and the burgers are going to turn out great as long as you get something that's going to clump together. I got some peanut butter. I'm going to add in about 2 tablespoons of peanut butter into our mixing bowl. Now, just take it and start mixing it up. Mix it up. Let's get a side angle so you guys can see on the insides what's going on in here. Look at that. Look at that. We're mixing up our chickpea burgers. Keep mixing them up. Keep mixing them up. And here is where it's going to get a little bit messy. Once you've gotten it to a good enough mix where everything's incorporated, you're going to want to get in there with your hands, right? Work all of the seasonings in together, all right? It's pretty good. I'm going to give my hands a quick little rinse. And if any of you guys are just tuning in, we are working on our chickpea burger recipe. We are at the final stages. This is live television, so we're not going to do any cuts and edits to clean. We're just going to create some space because this right here is burger making territory. Let us flip the camera around. Wonderful. All right, so now take a big clump, about patty size, right? And form it into a little patty. Now, if you're making these in an oven, you just have a baking sheet, and you plop these onto your bake sheet. I am making these in my air fryer. So this guy has been preheated. We got our air fryer heated to 350 degrees, and this is how we're going to actually cook up our chickpea burgers. Take out the little basket. Comes with this cool little basket. And then take your burger and place it right on the side. Chickpea burger number 1 into the air fryer. Show you the close-up vision. Chickpea burger number 1. All right. Chickpea burger number 2. Going into the air fryer. Chickpea burger number 3. And I'm in quarantine, so I'm alone. So this is chickpea burger number 3 just for me. So if you're cooking for a whole family, you might want to make a few more because we're staying at home and I know there's not much else to do except for have some fun in the kitchen. So, all right, there we have our chickpea burgers. We got 3 of them sorted together in our little basket. We're going to throw these in our air fryer and we are going to let those cook for about 15-20 minutes before we check on them, and we might want to flip them part way. So there we go. That is how you make chickpea burgers in the air fryer. Thank you guys so much for tuning into VegFest. And thank you so much, especially to Billy, who's brought us all into this festival, because he's the man behind the scenes who's been able to take it from something that was 10, 15,000 people together, turn it into this online community. So this is our first time doing virtual VegFest, and we are just so appreciative of everybody who's tuned in today. So if you guys are at home and you guys are getting a little bit stir crazy, try and find more communities. This might be a long time that we're in this quarantine. So do your best to figure out different ways that we can spread the vegan message and continue to communicate with others. So that is a wrap on my chickpea burger recipe. I think my time is up. I know Billy's just going to cue me out when the right moment hits, but that is a wrap on the chickpea burgers in the air fryer. And then what we have next is we're actually going to have my friend Marley come in later. He is going to teach a recipe for some toppings that are going to go absolutely deliciously with these chickpea burgers. So make sure you guys stay tuned, and Marley's going to come in and teach you those toppings for these. And if we are still running the show, so Billy, I'm sure you're watching, you're listening. Feel free to cut me out of here. At the completion of this tutorial, while I am still running, I'm just going to keep getting valuable information. Hopefully inspire guys to eat a little bit in the kitchen. So what I have over here, I'm going to leave behind are little mini chickpea burgers that I created in the air fryer, and I added a little bit of parsley to these. So here you can see somewhat of what a finished product might look like when you're cooking in the air fryer. And what I love about these is you can see they have a light crisp on the outside. And these were cooked with like practically no oil, maybe even no oil on this recipe, but they still get nice and crispy. So that's one of the very impressive things about cooking with an air fryer is that you're able to make stuff crispy without using a lot of oil. We all know that oil is just packed with fat. It's like 1 tablespoon of oil is like 120 calories. So this is a way to eat a little bit healthier and eat with a little bit less fat in your diet. So thank you guys so much for sticking around for the Learning Kitchen on VegFest LA. And we're going to send it back to Billy. Take it away.
All right. Thank you so much. Mario, that was really cool. I didn't have time to run in the kitchen and make the chickpea burgers, but I will be doing that later. And without further ado, now I got to set up we got Mike the Vegan and Joshua Awesome who are going to talk to you guys, and it's going to take me a sec. As I said, there's some crosstalk here with when they come on, but we're going to give away another T-shirt. And this question is, yes, we were World Fest, and we started in 2020 here in Los Angeles. I believe they did it in San Diego in 99 and 20, but they moved it to Los Angeles in 2000. So we changed the name from World Fest to VegFest LA. So the first person on both Facebook and YouTube who can guess the correct year, and you can't just start guessing a bunch of times. You get one guess each. What year we first were VegFest Los Angeles. So while you're thinking about that, I am getting the Zoom meeting up. Join. And as soon as I got this, please wait. The host will let you in soon. I'm going to flip it over here. And I've got Josh on the phone. That's how we're having to do this communication here. So, okay, so I'm going to turn you over to Josh. I'm going to blank my video here, and I'm not going to do audio. So hold on a second, Josh. Just a couple of things. Could really use another technician. That's what I really need here today. But let me get the app and Zoom. Let's see. We are live. Yes, you're good to go there, Josh. Have a good time. Sure.
And it's like a little bit of a reunion, but this is the next best thing. So
Heck yeah. Yeah. So can you tell us some new vegan news, some positive news about what's going on, things that you're researching, anything just fun?
There's definitely good things happening in various spheres. One that's I think is kind of fun, I did a recent video on, which is a really good follow-up to the Game Changers, because we had the Game Changers come out. Everybody got excited about vegan athleticism, vegans, doing sports, people going vegan to improve performance and stuff like that. But then it kind of stopped there. We didn't really have anything else that was new. And then recently, a pretty good news study came out, and I did a whole video on it, and it is about vegan athletics. They actually took people, they had a vegan group and a non-vegan group, and they had a showdown to see, if vegans were in fact weaker at the end of the day. And so what they did is they had some college-age women. Again, they had two groups, and they did a bunch of, a few different tests. One was the weightlifting test, and so the result of that was that they're not weaker. Vegans weren't weaker. They were able to lift as much as the non-vegans. But then where it got into some more of that cardiovascular related stuff, where cardio and just how good your artery health is, that's where the vegans really shined really hard. And so they did a sort of simulated VO2 max based off putting people on a little stationary bicycle, and then they also had them just go until exhaustion, and the vegans totally kicked butt. They lasted 40% longer.
Whoa.
Which, yeah.
That's rad.